How do you do a better jump than like anyone else I've ever seen? All right, y'all. Y'all ready for your next comedian? All right. So make some noise right now for BFG.
Notorious BFG. Bald Fat Grandpa. Yeah, it's not my real name. My real name was Ed, but some of you might remember those commercials about ED, erectile dysfunction. I didn't want my name to be associated with a disease going through life. Yeah, because now I know how my sister Chlamydia feels. Such a bunch of lovely ladies here tonight. I know some of you might be thinking, hey, you might want to have sex with BFG after the show. Well, I hate to disappoint you. We can still have sex. You'd just be terribly disappointed. I'm 67 years old. Anybody here over 50? No, all right, well, we got some over 50. Well, you know, I don't get laid much. At my age, the most exciting thing about sex is sneaking out without paying for it. But I have my memories. Yes, 1977, Costa Rica, spring break. I managed to have sex with 13 people over the course of 3 days. Let's hear it for that effort. Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't be bragging about it because I got arrested and gang raped in jail. But actually, I've been married to the same woman for 32 years. 3 adult children, wonderful thing, 32 years. But we can't fight on occasion. 32 years, how do you go through without fighting? The other day we were having a fight and she told me, well, if you're gonna grow as a person, you need to learn to embrace your mistakes. Embrace your mistakes. So I gave her a big hug. Oh, yeah, I knew I was in trouble, so I had to think of a way to get out of it. So I knew she wanted to go to Europe. So I got a map of Europe and put it up on the wall and gave her a dart. Put up a wall in the kitchen, gave her a dart. And I said, honey, you throw that dart and where it lands is where we spend our next vacation. So next summer, we're going to spend 1 week behind the refrigerator. I laughed so hard when that dart went behind the refrigerator. I was in even more trouble. So what do I do now? I got to do something a little more drastic. You tell me whether I overreacted. Because I went out and I got I love you tattooed on my penis. Yeah, I love you tattooed on my penis. She wasn't impressed. She said I was just trying to put words in her mouth. Yeah, well now, she kind of makes the rules. So at night when we go to bed, she kind of wants to do this thing called library. Yeah, I sit quietly in the corner while she reads a book. Oh, I thought that would go better. But it's not my first marriage. I've actually been married 3 times before, but I've never been divorced. How does that happen? My first wife died from eating poison mushrooms. My second wife died from eating poison mushrooms. My third wife, how did she die? Yes.
Is she alive still?
No, I've been married 3 times, no divorce. Get it? So 3 of them are gone. So how do you think the third one died?
Poison mushrooms.
No, fractured skull. No. She wouldn't eat the mushrooms. I come from a small town in northeastern Pennsylvania, raised in the 60s. Most of you can't relate to that. But has anybody ever been bullied in school? Yeah, okay, all right. We had a bully in school. His name was George Visco. I'm in a small Catholic elementary school, and his gig was, he was held back 2 years, so he was huge compared to the rest of us. He would have his shoes untied, and he'd make us tie it. And I felt for it. It was really embarrassing. So I went and told my dad. I said, we got this bully. He's making me tie his shoe. It's really embarrassing. You know, what should I do? And my dad says, bully? Bullies are cowards. If he tries to do that again, get in his face. Call him a bully. Call him a coward. He'll back down. So the next day, he comes up to me My shoe's untied. Tie it, punk. And I go, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. So my dad says that bullies are cowards. You're a bully, so you're a coward. So back off. You can't pick on me anymore. And he got this weird look on his face. And he put his head down and he turned around, walked off, got on his bike, rode over to my house and beat up my father. Anybody here Catholic? Yeah, all right. There's a few guys. I went to Catholic grade school. And then one day the nun just asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? And one of the girls put up her hand and said, I want to be a prostitute. And the teacher said, what? So I want to be a prostitute. She says, that's not acceptable. That's ridiculous. I can't believe you said that. Now, let me ask you again. What do you want to be when you grow up? She says, I want to be a prostitute. And she goes, oh, I thought you said Protestant. My brother was a legend back in that little town. At 14, he managed to sleep with his teacher. Yeah, sleep with his teacher at 14. It was really controversial because he was being homeschooled. My sister was a librarian, and one of the things that made her crazy is when people came in and borrowed books on suicide, they never brought them back. She also played tricks on some. She told me once somebody came up and asked where the books on paranoia was, and she said, they're right behind you! I had an idiot cousin. I was walking on the street with him. We see a dog licking his balls. And he says, boy, I wish I could do that. I said, well, go ahead. He doesn't look like he bites. My wife has a sister who has a daughter. It's her niece. And the little girl was acting weird in a demonic sort of way. So my sister-in-law hired a priest to do an exorcism. And it worked. The kid calmed down. And then my sister-in-law didn't pay the priest. So her daughter got repossessed. Oh. Okay. Here's a couple of quick ones. Knock, knock. Who's there? Little boy blue. Michael Jackson. Oh, what? Too soon? He's been dead a long time. We can pick on him. Okay, here's a little bit of philosophy that I went down. My daughter, I'm very proud of her. She's an electrical engineer. I asked her that age-old question: is the glass empty, or half full? And she says, "Oh, that's easy. The glass is just twice as big as it needs to be." Oh, you got to think about that one. All right. Okay. Never, ever borrow money unless you borrow it from a pessimist, because they never expect to get paid back. Boy, those aren't going too well. Okay, I'll tell you about some old jobs I used to have. I didn't start out as being a lawyer. Well, let me tell you about one of my successes. I'm a 42-year practicing attorney. And most of what I do is real boring and routine. But on Wednesday, I solved a real problem down at the Port of Houston. I represent a trucking company and a warehouse company, and there was a dispute with a container company that had come in with a container, and it was filled with tampons, but there was a dispute about whether it was paid for, so they didn't want to unload it. So they got me involved to help, and I was able to take care of it real quickly. I just had to pull a few strings. Okay, that's better than the philosophical ones. Okay, did I get the light yet?
Yes.
Yeah? No. Oh.
20 seconds.
20 seconds. I get the light?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Okay, on the way here, I got pulled over, and the cop came up and said, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" I said, "Officer, you forgot already?" Let's just say I didn't get the warning. There we go. All right. Well, I'm going to give you a few more philosophy. Maybe you'll like these better. If you build a fire for a man, you keep him warm for a day. But if you set that man on fire, you keep him warm the rest of his life. And don't you think it's strange that you have to wait till the end of your life to find out whether you've been murdered? All right, my name is Notorious BFG, Bald Fat Grandpa. But I want to tell you, I'm on all the platforms. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and everything. But I finally did something I wanted to do for a long time. I finally posted it. I hope you enjoy it. I posted my sex tape. Yeah, thank you, thank you. It is an absolutely fabulous one-man show. I'm Notorious BFG. Thank you. Notorious followers, too. Yeah.
All right, give it up one more time for Notorious BFG. That sex tape is a hot one. Are y'all ready?